Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my channel, MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to your mid-month readings and the remainder of the mid-month readings. I did it. I came through. I have two more signs, and today's featured reading will be for the beautiful air sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, it's a beautiful time for you. I really believe with all my heart that this is a year that you will never forget. I know last year was too, but this is going to be a year for so many better reasons. And we have the second full moon happening on the 22nd, which is Sunday, in your sign. The second blue moon, full moon in Aquarius. This is powerful. This is very rare, but then so are you. And so is this year, right? And what's so beautiful is you've had Jupiter and Saturn, in your sign. And that's the first time it's been that way for, I don't remember, I'm sorry. I want to say hundreds of years since it's been those two major outer planets with the same, in the same sign of the air, beautiful air element of Aquarius. So I'm thrilled as a fellow air sign, not Aquarius, a Libra. And I mean, any air sign in general is going to feel the positivity probably more than any other sign, but all of us have something that's going to be positive about having Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign that is all about working with and for and helping the masses, the global look, the big picture, right? There's nothing about Aquarians that are not interested in, like taking the lead, really starting these wonderful organizations and, nonprofit type of situations where we can all benefit the world and at large. This is a wonderful kind of spirit and soul that that Aquarians have, and they want to teach and learn and grow and expand, and that's what Jupiter does for you. And so Jupiter was retrograde in Pisces for shy of 3 months, and then went back into your sign on the 28th of July. So you've got it, Jupiter in your sign retrograde through the latter part of October, and then straight forward again until the end of the year on the 28th. It goes back into Pisces. There's so many incredible things that can happen between now and then. There's already things that already have happened and manifested for you, you're already very aware of. You don't have to tell me, this is general, but if you want to share, I would love to know. I use my sister, who's an Aquarius, as an example. And there's so many different scenarios, but she has her youngest son going off to college, so now it's the empty nesting phase of her life, which happened because I'm an older sister. It happened, 15, 16 years ago for me. So, but it's a phase that a lot of us go through, and next thing you know, you're in it, and it's a change for life, right? And so what's happening with her because of that and her children, well, then, as I always say, when Jupiter enters your sign, it's about opportunities and changes in life transformations that last an entire lifetime, or certainly the next 12 years, until Jupiter then re-enters your sign again, because it's every 12 years. So I feel like there's just been a lot of love and compassion in your hearts for the sentimental aspects of things. And yeah, I know as an air sign, people are saying, what? Because air signs they appear to be detached and not emotional about things. They're very focused on their thoughts and ways to go about business that are very, very logical and orderly and that sort of thing. But they absolutely have emotions, and they're some of the best parents and friends, and, they love to be sociable and friendly and have fun. And, they're kind of they're the ones who kind of initiate a lot of things. I think you're a fixed sign, very determined on anything you do, which you put your mind on, it becomes a reality for you. And that's definitely in regards to romance too. If you have your eyes set on someone, that's it, okay? You're not going to budge until something happens. Also happened with my sister. But, so lots of beautiful things. And then the new moon is still unraveling information for all of us. And that was a beautiful new moon in Leo. We're still in the last throes of Leo season, which is extremely powerful and beautiful for you, because fire and air do extremely well together as far as the elements go. There's a lot of compatibility there, harmonizing, great ideas, fun, adventure, passion. So that's happening as well. So I'm going to pick your highlighted sign like I always do. And for those that are new, I appreciate you being in my channel. For those that are returning, I love and appreciate you so much. I want to grow this channel, and I know it takes time, but it won't happen without you. So your support has been beautiful. So liking and sharing and commenting and all those things help me immensely, more than you realize. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. So let's find your spirited guided highlight connection. And I do want to reiterate this because I say it now, I think I'm more clear about it. This is not necessarily a love relationship. It may very well be, but it doesn't have to be. I want everybody in the world to know that love comes in all different forms. And yes, it's romantic and it's amazing and it's very, you know, sweet and that sort of thing. And what I was going to say, physically, you know, a part of our lives. But I'm talking about the love that's genuine, that's authentic, and that we have for life, for our deepest friends, our work partners, people we don't know, you know, people we want to help because we know they need help, but we don't have to know them. Putting that energy out. That's what my love readings are about. Ironically enough, I do watch a lot of tarot readers. As a tarot reader, that's you get inspired and you always learn from other people, and I love them. I never watch love readings though. I have so much love for people and friends and everything. I'm not in a romantic relationship, so a lot of those are romantic, mine is not. But it could be. It could very well have to do with this highlighted connection. It could also just be the energy you're feeling, you know, and being very in tune with that right now because it's one of the planets that we're in. We'll see as soon as I roll the dice for you, okay? So for you, beautiful Aquarius, your highlighted connection, it's right on the cusp there. Boy, that's amazing. And I almost feel very strongly like you had, at the beginning of the month, I'm almost positive, your highlighted was Leo. So it's predominantly in Leo, and I love it. It's your polar opposite. And you do so well together because the fire, like I said, the ambition, the strength, the ego, the drive, the spirit, the passion of this wonderful Leo energy that we've been in for, you know, the last almost 30 days, which is now shifting over into Virgo season. It's just been so inspiring for you. And I know you've had more get up and go, and maybe a new job has started and you've had plenty of opportunity to learn it and fine tune it with Virgo influences that, you know, even though we're not in Virgo season. Well, Venus was in Virgo up until yesterday when I went to Libra. But Mars is there. Mars is the planet of you know, fire and ambition as well, and strength and momentum and energy. So I feel like a lot of Aquarians are picking up on that, as we all can if we choose to, and fine-tuning things, you know, doing the last details of my sister, for example, her son going away. There's a lot to do. Furniture, you know, rent, deposits, all that stuff you do when you have that love and compassion for your family, right? And so it's been beautiful. I think vacations have definitely been part of the mix. Parties and celebrations, because my sister and I, the Aquarian sister and I, have a Leo brother, so I'm sure they were celebrating and having a wonderful time. But let's get a little deeper into this for you. I have 4 major categories I always read for this, and I like to separate it into categories because it just kind of streamlines the energy and the meanings behind the cards. And remember, the cards, in my opinion anyway, and what I've always been so drawn to, astrology-wise, compatibility has always been my interest since I was 12. So I've always studied that. I love it. It's phenomenal. It's always very accurate, and reasons why people, you know, will hang out together, though we can all have all sorts of friends of all different signs. There's some we just prefer to be with. But the tarot is our guidance. It's our inspiration and our, you know, our tools to know how to handle things maybe, or you know, perking our interest about things, or bringing out a mystery that we may not have thought of before. It's very, very useful for all those things. And it's always our choice as to how we want to receive those messages, right? And I look at as the grand, you know, the cosmos teacher, if you will. So the first and overall energy is the category for the first card with this beautiful Leo energy. So you're probably feeling very much in the energy of the power and the drive and the courage to get things done and make it happen, you know, that Leo has been providing for all of us. But your first card is absolutely beautiful because it's you. Well, I think it's you. I mean, I know that this is a air element sign. This is the Queen of Swords. So of the 3 air, there's yourself, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Excuse me. And Libra, generally, the card that represents them in the tarot is Justice. And Gemini is the Lovers. So this is definitely you, Aquarius. So there you are, boy. Powerful, powerful stuff, because that energy of the moon is already happening. And it's going to be in full force, like I said, on Sunday. And it's going to culminate and light all the situations and topics that are the most important. It will end things, absolutely. As I said, my sister's son will be out of the house, I believe by month's end, you know, because school starts in August. And it's exciting, and it's sentimental, and it's emotional, because that's what the moons do. I'm actually getting emotional for my sister. I remember feeling that way and driving my son. He was in LA. I had to drive him there. The quickest drive to LA ever, right? Like, why did it have to be so quick? But it's beautiful, and it means that he's, you know, growing up, and she's an amazing parent because she was able to teach him the best she could. She's great at thinking and really helping support people and being a wealth of information, you know, and it's always good to do that with sons, because we both have 2 sons. And then they just take off, and they do, and they learn from what you've taught them, right? And very straightforward about things, you know, very, very, very loving and motherly, but knowing that they're ready to fly the coop, as they say, you know? So there you are, and that's beautiful, and it's upright, and it's strong, and it's about fairness and speaking your truth, and just, yeah. A lot of love, a lot of passion there. So I love that. That's absolutely perfect. And then the second category is the possible blessings or obstacles. So, you know, I don't know what that would mean. We'll have to find out. This is general as well. But I always do say that a lot of our obstacles then become our blessings, because they're the teaching that we need to know. You know, you get through them, you know, and when you get through them, you're like, oh, okay. Don't necessarily want to repeat that again, and that's always our choice too, right? We can keep doing it over and over again and getting the same results, or we can learn from the challenge or the things that we just simply don't want again in our life, you know? But you have this beautiful card, which is so perfect, and I know what it's about. I know what it's about. It's the 6 of Pentacles. It's the beautiful, it speaks about the earth element, which is, you know, our practical things in life, our money, our jobs, how do we contribute, you know, the value of our time. Are we getting enough money for what we do? Are we giving money to other people? Are we, you know, thinking of other people? Is it always just about us, or do we share that wealth? Because the whole thing about the law of attraction and the currency meaning the current, keeping it flowing, keeping it going, right, is to make sure that you do give and receive. And if you notice right there in the middle is the scales, you know, that represents the aspect of Libra, being fair and just. And also the really important key notable thing on this card is the way that this person has 3 pentacles in front and 3 in the back, it looks like. Although you can't see the 3rd. No, there's 1 on the top of his head and then 1 behind him. So yeah, saving enough for himself and a little extra, because for a rainy day like last year, or for our children. But, you know, having given some, you know, it's got to be that reciprocation has to be there. And it seems as though that's exactly what's happening. And I think you might be, Aquarius, the one doing a lot of the giving and still saving. You know, this new job opportunity. Oh, I didn't mention that. So my sister also became a permanent employee at a place where she was a temp for a 1.5 years. So during her Aquarian, you know, Jupiter in her sign, of course. And so beautiful stuff, beautiful feeling once again that the Aquarian very prominent characteristic is about giving to others, you know, looking at others and their needs. Okay. And you can't help but win when you do that. It's a win-win situation. But reminding yourself that yes, it has to be, it's okay to give and everything, but don't give so much that you're depleted and you know, you have nothing. That's not something you necessarily ever need to do, and the universe is not asking that of any of us. I learned that myself. I wanted to give my kids everything. And, you know, I had to learn the hard way. But I did learn. And I might add that I learned a lot from Abraham Hicks. And I have that beautiful deck of money and the law of attraction, because it's how we think about it, and its energy, and how smart we are, and how we manage it, all come into play. And that's part of this whole message from here. And that's a blessing. You know, what you give, you receive. And the third category is about finances. So it goes from feeling comfortable, having enough, and even a little bit to spare, knowing that you've been giving, and therefore you are, and you're receiving, and things are feeling good and balanced and excellent, which, by the way, the 6 represents balance, you know, the 6th house. Everyday activities, work, life, you know, home life, family, relationships, and so forth. But the financial card, it could definitely have to do with wanting money and having questions about money or concerns. And, you know, I know that you have the wherewithal to do and achieve anything and receive the money you know you're worth. You know, the other interesting thing is your other very notable known tarot card that represents Aquarius is the star. And that's wishing upon that star and knowing this is what I'm going to achieve. This is what I'm going to manifest. And you never waver from that. And guess what? That's what happens. It becomes part of your life in some way or another. Okay. Not always exactly the way you imagine it, but you believe it and you do achieve it. So the financial card for you, beautiful. Wow. Well, no, I say that because we're getting all exactly every single element so far. The swords, you, and, you know, the air element, and mind, and opportunity, and information, and you know, your energy, bottom line, Aquarius energy. Then we have the pentacles, and now we're going into the cups, and we have the King of Cups. So this is about emotion. This is a person. It doesn't have to be a man. It's a masculine energy, but it doesn't have to be, because a lot of water energy is not masculine. It's quite the opposite. It has the perfect duality of both. But there's a lot of harmony and feeling very, very, very at peace with your emotions, and feeling like you have achieved what you need to. You are incredibly creative. I didn't mention that, but that is another asset and beautiful aspect of the characteristics of Aquarian. And unique, and you can, you know, kind of be your own genius and start your own entrepreneurial endeavor, and then, you know, just grow from there. You know, the world is your oyster, and you are one to kind of think outside the box. You don't want to be like everybody else. And I didn't mention, but Uranus is your ruling planet, so there's unexpected surprises your whole life, you know, that come the way Uranus is. That's how Uranus works. It's freedom seeking, and it doesn't want to be confined and conformed. And that's very appropriate for a lot of Aquarians, I know. They are independent souls, you know. I mean, they work great in relationships, but they definitely like the freedom within the relationship too. They often seek partners that understand that and agree with it, or of course there would be issues. But yeah, love, a lot of love. I mean, once again, it makes me think of the scenario with my sister, but there's so many. And whatever is happening in your finances or what have you, you're feeling like you just are content and happy, and you're happy to give and to share that with your family, those that you care about. The cups represent Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And every one of them are incredibly caring and loving and devoted, you know. So yeah, the maturity of it is there. The satisfaction on any level of emotional stability is good. And in the financial department, that always feels right. You're feeling great. You know, some new positive energies coming in. You might be working with somebody that's new, that is a water element, and you're just feeling really good. They have good things to say. They're very kind and considerate and caring about your needs. You know, how wonderful is that? So I like that for your money. It could be the wealth of your relationships. You know, people consider that to be wealthy if you have great relationships. You don't need a lot. You just need ones that are quality and that are going to be there and support you. So far so good. And the final category is the category of surprises and wishes. And your card, beautiful Aquarius. Oh, okay. I almost want to clarify this, because the Five of Pentacles is always that part that every one of us in the world has a capable aspect of having, and that is the part that thinks less of ourselves than necessary. There it was, and I'm taking this from another reader because it's just coming to mind, and I love it, and I like the analogy for this particular card. It's something we feel. It's not necessarily accurate whatsoever, because in the background you see this beautiful stained glass window and these, you know, rather impoverished, you know, sad and actually ailing, you know, handicapped people walking underneath, and almost as though they're feeling, you know, left out, you know, feeling that they have less than others, and then realizing or not realizing that right behind them is the money and the pentacles and the help. So they themselves are carrying this kind of feeling. It's an emotion. It's what you try to stay away from, Aquarium. But let's just say there was a certain person or teacher or parent in your life at one point who made you feel that way. And it's never quite left. You know, it's that funky little voice you hear. And when you're feeling your best and everything is going great, and then you lay down at night and it's quiet, and that full moon brings in emotions and, you know, dreams and sort of signs and things, and it brings back memories. And you're like, son of a gun. And you just kind of lower that self-respect and acceptance. And by gum, we don't want to do that. And so as soon as you think it, you want to let that go and be on top of those feelings. Because, you know, especially let's say if you've been overworking or overdoing it and you're over emotional, it'll slide there because that's an imbalance, okay? And those are the times I feel the saddest, is when I'm tired and I haven't slept. Oh yeah, I can drum up all sorts of things that aren't going right, and oh my gosh, I thought it was going better, and you know what I'm saying. We just loop-de-doo, because I'm an air sign. I do that. Our minds do that. Snap right out of that, okay? That could be a surprise that you may feel that you were thinking, wow, I don't know where that came from. Well, there's a lot of recesses in our brain, you know, and I mean, it's not that unusual. Our brain is like a computer, they say, and I sit there sometimes and think things that, for the life of me, how would I ever bring that up in my mind from when I was 4 and I was going to the store and whatever it is. It's phenomenal. But we can reprogram our thoughts, reprogram our energies any moment of any day. And the reality is this is a beautiful, beautiful reading. So if anything, maybe you're just feeling a little bit sad because there's a change coming, and it has to do with, you know, not having things the way they were for, you know, X amount of years, with children being out of the house, for example, that I've used. So keep that stiffer upper chin. You got everything you need to, you are enough and you're amazing, and you want to keep on that thought process as much as you possibly can. So those are your readings, and I'm going to finish with your beautiful oracle messages, because they are so important too, and they're so full of wisdom. And that happens to be the deck I'm using. I was using the Art Nouveau Tarot. It's full of sparkly, shiny things that I thought would be perfect for Leo season. And then the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm is by Colette Van Reed. She's amazing. She has so many decks. Wisdom is the key word here, though. You know, we're all part of this big universe, right? And we're all connected, and we all are part of the consciousness, and everyone has beliefs that they choose, and most of them are similar, I think, who watch my channel. But our soul goes on and on. It's an energy that never dies. It just changes form and such. And the wisdom of these cards are so phenomenal, because they remind me of things, and they bring out, you know, inspiration for me and love that I love to hear. So I'd like to impart that with you. So your beautiful card for the remainder of the month, beautiful Aquarius, prior to your second full moon, that's really going to be just so important for you on some level. Flow, letting go, and natural movement. Wow, letting go, you know? Letting go of things that were, because it's all perfect, and it's number 36, and that equals a 9, and that's completion, so that's also perfect. But look at the card itself. It's got the watery element, because yes, there is the water, and there is emotion, even though it's a beautiful thing knowing your children are growing up and going away or whatever it is. It just, you know, it's emotional. because the years go so darn quick, you know. So I will read to you what it says, because it's also affecting my throat chakra. I'm sure you can hear, because it's emotional, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful emotional thing, you know. It's bittersweet. So the beautiful message for the River Queen is: the River Queen flows into your life as an ally to remind you about the concept of allowing the law of non-attachment. What better advice right now when you're having to say goodbye? Thank you, Spirit. Honestly, the synchronicity is insane. I love it. Remember that all rivers come from the mountains and run into the sea to be absorbed by the larger body of water. There the liquid evaporates into clouds that rain on the mountains to continue an endless cycle of fluidity. I love that. See how well it's worded? Ooh, I love it. The River Queen requires you to be fluid and to let go of rigidity and perfectionism. You will travel far as long as you let go and let flow. Even maneuvering around the greatest blockages, like water streams around big boulders. No obstacle can hold you back now if you're willing to surrender to the natural flow of events. Be easy on yourself and others, and watch how smoothly you move forward. You may be surprised where the river takes you. And that's just a whole other topic, because like when you have empty nests, and there's so much more time, like, what am I going to do? Yeah, you may have a spouse or something, and you can work on that too, and that's wonderful. But it's like a whole new way of life again, you know? It's exciting. It's beautiful. So, finishing your beautiful reading for today, for the rest of the month, is the Super Attractor manifestation message. And this is what I always say is the ability to manifest your life exactly as you want it, because we absolutely can. And you just have to know it, believe it, and then feel it. And really feel it, okay? And feel good about it. That's the main thing if you want a good life. You may not want that. So if you're not feeling good and you're bringing on the feelings of, oh, this and that and everything, that'll come to you too. I don't think a lot of people want that. It happens by default. So you really want to focus our thoughts to become things. And they are energy like everything. So just being very aware. So this is to help you remember that. And it's like an affirmation that you can say over and over and lift that energy and bring that out to the world, and it'll come back. Ooh, I got this yesterday. Wow. I am patient, knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. And that's true. Look at your full moon in the background, Aquarius. Can't make this stuff up. You've got the pregnancy. Some of you might be pregnant. That's another huge change in knowing your money will come in. And there's a lot of emotion because, a child is just like, it's life transformational, right? It's for the rest of your life. And it's so phenomenal. And there's so much involved. And so if not a child, seeds that are for a new idea, a new relationship, a new business, a new move, a new home, a new anything. You've already planted the seeds, and you have for a while, and it's about time for harvest and to reap the benefits, as it were. So, yeah, just know in your heart of hearts that patience is important, of course, and whatever's of your highest good is absolutely coming to you. Living by those words alone is going to change your life dramatically. But the red is the fiery and the passion aspect of knowing that. It's also the root chakra, keeping you balanced, grounded, present. And so that's your reading. Wow. I got emotional, but I love it because I have a little bit of a stake in a personal, Aquarian. I don't know. It's a good year for you, though. Keep it going, keep it happening, and believe that. And come on back to reading for September, because I'll be here for you. Thank you again for your time, and take great care. Until next time, bye for now.